You're 30 years old and your net worth is negative $6,200. Not zero, negative. You know this because you sat down last Sunday and did the math for the first time in your adult life. A real spreadsheet, every number. And when the formula ran, it returned a number with a minus sign in front of it that you stared at for a long time before you closed the laptop. You have $1,100 in checking, $4,800 on a credit card you've been rolling for 2 years, and $2,500 left on a personal loan you took out for a security deposit because you didn't have it at the time. You are not a person who made catastrophic mistakes. You just lived the way people live when nobody ever taught them anything real about money, month to month, bill to bill, quietly hoping it would sort itself out. It didn't. And here you are at 30. This video is going to show you what it actually feels like year by year, decision by decision, when a person who starts from exactly where you are builds something real. Not a plan, not a list. The moments nobody talks about. And the number you wake up to on your 40th birthday if you start right now. Stay with this. It's a Thursday night in October. You're 30. You're sitting on the edge of your bed in the dark with your phone in your hand and you've just done something impulsive. You downloaded a budgeting app. Not because you had a plan. Because you got a text from your bank at 11:47 p.m. telling you your account dropped below $100 and you felt something you hadn't let yourself feel in a long time. Scared. Real scared. The kind that doesn't go away when you put your phone down. So you open the app, you connect your accounts, you let it pull in 90 days of transactions and build the picture you've been avoiding. The picture is not good. Your take-home is $3,480 a month. Fixed expenses, rent, car insurance, phone, utilities, minimum debt payments total $2,190. That leaves $1,290 for everything else. The app says you've been spending $1,720 in everything else, every month. For at least 3 months running, you are spending $430 more than you have, every single month. You sit there for a while, the apartment is quiet, there's a bus going by outside, and then, instead of closing the app, you do something different. You stay. You open the notes section and write one sentence. I am done pretending this is fine. That sentence, badly lit, thumb-typed in the dark on a Thursday in October, is the beginning of everything that comes next. The first 3 months are the hardest to describe because nothing visible happens. No milestone, no number you're proud of. Just the friction of a person trying to stop a slow leak while the water is still running. You cut the streaming subscriptions on autopay since 2021, $47 gone. You start packing lunch 4 days a week. You stop ordering food on Sunday nights, the expensive habit you never fully admitted to yourself. That recovers $180 a month. You pick up a Saturday shift doing something you're slightly overqualified for, and you don't tell most people because there's a specific, quiet embarrassment to that kind of decision. That's $340 a month. By January, 3 months in, you pay off the personal loan, in full. You don't celebrate. You barely mark it. You just watch the balance hit zero and feel something you haven't felt about money in years. Like a door that was stuck finally moved. The debt is now just the credit card. $4,800 at 24% interest. You attack it the same way, methodically, without waiting to feel motivated, because you've learned that motivation is a weather system. It comes and goes, and what actually moves the number is the same payment hitting on the 15th whether you feel inspired or you don't. By the following October, 1 year in, the card is gone. Negative $6,200. 12 months later. Zero. Zero doesn't feel like relief. Zero feels like standing at a starting line, like the race you thought you were already running hasn't actually begun yet. That's okay, you're at the line now. Here is what nobody says about this year. The hardest year isn't when something dramatic happens. It's this one. The year of invisible progress. The year you build the habit of not lying to yourself about what the numbers say. That habit is worth more than the $6,200. At 31, you open a Roth IRA. You fund it with $200 a month. Not because $200 a month sounds impressive, it doesn't, but because it's the number that fits after rent, food, and a small emergency fund you've been slowly building in a separate account you've made slightly inconvenient to access. The balance grows. So slowly that checking it too often is demoralizing. You learn to check it the way you'd check a plant you've just repotted, Not every day, not expecting visible change, just occasionally to confirm it's still alive and pointed in the right direction. In April, your car needs work. Rear brakes, a sensor, labor. The bill comes to $780. You pay it the same day, cash, from the emergency fund. And here is the thing nobody explains in advance. You're sitting in the mechanic's waiting room, plastic chairs, a TV with the news on low, and you're waiting for a bill that 3 months ago would have required a calculation, a phone call, a quiet spiral of shame about not being more prepared. And instead you're just waiting for the car. That's it. You go home. You refill the fund over the next 2 months. You don't miss a single contribution. That is the first moment you understand that what you're building is not a number, it's a feeling. And you want more of it. At 32, your company goes through a round of layoffs. Not your department, not your job, but 9 people you know, people who sat near you, people you ate lunch with, carry boxes to their cars on a Wednesday morning, and that's it. A 10-minute meeting and years of someone's career quietly ends in the parking lot. You watch this and feel something complicated. Relief you're still there, guilt about the relief, and underneath both, something colder and clearer. The understanding that your turn will come. Maybe not now, maybe not this company. But layoffs happen, and the only thing standing between a hard moment and a catastrophic one is the number of months your savings can buy you. You go home and calculate. If you lost your job today, your emergency fund covers 2.4 months. Your portfolio is growing, but you're not touching it. You understand now what pulling from it early costs you long term. Your credit card is clean. Your car is paid. You are not safe. But you are not one phone call from collapse. You raise your emergency fund target from 3 months to 5, and you increase your monthly contribution from $200 to $300. Not because you can easily afford it, because the layoff scare reminded you why you started. Urgency is the clearest version of motivation. You keep your head down. You stay in your accounts the way you'd stay in a lane on a highway, steady, not distracted, not swerving for every piece of content telling you there's a faster way. At 33, something happens that has nothing to do with money. Your friend Jordan buys a new car, financed, costing him around $540 a month. You ride in it once, the seats are heated, the sound system is genuinely impressive. The interior smells like something new and expensive, and your brain, a human brain with the full range of human responses, says you've been so careful. You've given up so much. Don't you deserve something like this? You notice that voice. You don't argue with it. You don't shame yourself for having it. You've learned that desire isn't the enemy. Desire on a schedule is. The question is never, do I want this? The question is, what does this cost me? In time, in options, in the future I'm building. You run the number on your phone in Jordan's passenger seat. A $32,000 car financed over 72 months costs around $39,000 total by the last payment, for something worth maybe $12,000 by then. You get out of Jordan's car and walk to your 2017 Civic and feel something that takes a second to name. Not deprivation, not jealousy, clarity. The quiet, specific feeling of knowing exactly what you're choosing and why. Nobody told you clarity would feel this good. The next 2 years are quieter. You get a raise at 34, not dramatic, but enough to push your contribution from $300 to $400, then $500 by 35. You don't touch your lifestyle. You automate the increase and forget about it the same week. The account keeps growing. Your portfolio crosses $25,000 on a Tuesday morning when you're 35. You're between calls at work. You open the app the way you've been doing for 4 years, not obsessively, just as a habit. The way you'd glance at a plant growing slowly in a corner window. The number reads $25,400. You go back to your meeting, you eat lunch at your desk, but the number stays with you all day like a low, steady hum. Not excitement. Something steadier than excitement. This is the first number that feels structural. Not a milestone you're celebrating, a foundation that has been poured and has cured and will now hold weight, because $25,000 earning 9% annually, the historical long-run average of diversified markets, is $2,250 working for you this year without you lifting a finger. You are now making money on days you call in sick. Here is the math at 35. If you never add another dollar, just let $25,000 sit and compound at 9% for 25 more years, it becomes $215,000. You are still adding dollars every month. without fail. The machine has started running, and it does not stop. At 38, your sister calls on a Sunday afternoon and she sounds the way people sound when they've been rehearsing what they're about to say. Her landlord is selling the building. She has 60 days to move, 2 kids. She found a good place, a stable place, but the security deposit plus first and last month is $4,200 and she doesn't have it right now and she's sorry to ask. You tell her not to be sorry. You tell her you'll take care of it. You hang up and sit with the phone in your hand and think about what just happened. Not the $4,200, that part is simple. You transfer it Monday morning without touching your portfolio, without going into debt, without losing a night of sleep. What you sit with is the sentence you just said, "I'll take care of it," without hesitation, without calculating which card to use, how long it'll take to recover, what you'll have to give up. You just said yes. That moment. Not the portfolio balance, not the zero credit card, not any number. That is the first moment you understand what you've actually been building. Not a number, a kind of freedom. The freedom to show up for the people you love without it costing you your stability. You sleep fine that night. You wake up on your 40th birthday, before coffee, before your phone. You lie in the dark and think about the edge of the bed, the Thursday night, the app, the sentence you typed badly in the dark, then you check the number. Just under $70,000. Not a millionaire. Not financially free in the way the internet defines it, but 40 years old with nearly $70,000 in real working wealth, built from negative $6,200. Built from a deficit. Built from a Saturday shift nobody saw. A car repair paid in cash. A Sunday phone call answered without panic. 10 years ago, the median American under 35 had a net worth of about $39,000. You had negative $6,200. You were nearly $45,000 behind that number. And now you have nearly twice it, built from nothing, one automated contribution at a time. But here is the number that actually matters at 40. Your monthly contribution right now is $600. You have 25 years until 65. If you never get another raise, if you never increase that amount again, $600 a month at 9% historical average becomes roughly $670,000 by the time you're 65. On top of the $70,000 already compounding underneath it. You are not behind anymore. You are not close to finished. Here is the only thing that separates you from the version of yourself who stayed at zero. You started. That's it. That's the whole difference. You have 10 years before you're 40. 10 years of consistent, quiet, automated discipline starting from exactly where you are builds a life structurally different from the one you were heading toward. The only question that matters right now is the one you already know. Are you going to open the app? If this story felt familiar, if you recognized yourself somewhere in that Thursday night, or that parking lot, or that phone call from a family member, that recognition is the beginning. Subscribe if you want to keep building this with us. Every video on this channel is built for people starting from real life, not from a position of already having it figured out. Drop a comment below. What's the one money decision you've been putting off? We'll talk about it.